How's it going, my truant people? Dr. Slacking, the Slacking Doctor, back with week 7 of the LTC, I think. It's been like 3 or 4 weeks since this battle happened, so I don't even know at this point. We've actually, I'm not going to say how far in the season we've got. We've got a long way in the season, though, at this point. I'm having to do this one very much in retrospect. Oh, no, actually, I'm telling you a lie. It's been 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks, not been that long. Why does it feel like so long? Jeez. Has it even been 2 weeks? Yeah, it's been 2 weeks. 2 weeks nearly since this battle. Not even a full 2 weeks. I'm just getting old. My memory's going. Anyway, this week we're up against my man Toastyrex and the Madison Mudkips. We didn't battle Toasty. I think this is our first time battling Toasty ever. I've known about Toasty for a while. He was on Team Cacti and Owl. He's in the PEBA. But I don't think we've ever actually gone head-to-head with him, so that's super exciting. First time battling Toasty, and his draft, Coach the Madison Mudkips, shout out to him for having my all-time favourite Pokemon as his team mascot. But his draft for the Madison Mudkips is Durant, Komala, Gallade, Z Flareon, Gigalith, Go-Goat, Floette, Z Chloritzer, Altaria, Liepard, Pikachu, and Golurk. Pretty scary threat offensively. And this game was a difficult one to prep for, because this was the week that Stromful and Isaac came to visit me. So they arrived on the Friday, or the Thursday, I can't remember which now. I'm getting so old. And Toasty and I had agreed to play that evening. So they arrived. I had kind of chilled out all day, been tied in the house before their arrival. We then went to the pub. I took them to the pub because, being Swedish, I don't know if they'd ever been to a proper English pub before. So we were sat in the pub and I was like, oh crap, I got to battle Toasty. I didn't have a team, I didn't have anything. So shout out to Stromful and Isaac for helping me build this team in the pub. And actually, let me just make sure you guys can see the team. Yeah, you can. Good. For helping me build this team in the pub. It was pretty straightforward. They then very kindly just sat back in silence and watched me play the battle. I really would struggle if they were trying to have input. I know some people are like, oh, you had Stromful there to help you. No, not at all. Like, I need to be focused. This team was built for my playstyle, not for anybody else's. It just wouldn't work like that, and we'll get onto why in a minute. So they very kindly sat there and just watched and spectated while we ate our dinner. Everyone else in the pub must have thought, what the hell is going on? There's 3 blokes sat there playing Pokemon while they eat their dinner, but who cares what they think. So we had Mariabella first up on the squad. Choice, Spec, Swellow, Boomburst, Hurricane, U-Turn, Roost. You'll see as the rest of the season progresses, or you will already have seen, in fact, for the past few weeks, this set has become just the Swellow set. His fastest thing, I believe, is Durant at 108, meaning that we can run Modest this week, which is incredible. And we can just fire off Specs, Boomburst, and hit everything on his team and just wear things down. This thing is an absolute nuke. It just runs through most drafts. Switch-ins don't exist to Swellow, so that's pretty cool. Next up we have Fern. The reason being, it's a bit of an electric resistor switch in. I think his electric type is Pikachu, so we weren't super worried about that. But also, it hit on the special side to pressure and scout for any special walls he might have and wear them down for Swellow. So things like AV Komala, things like Floette, Hidden Power Fire on here, Tech for Durant, because once again, we outspeed Durant, which is super nice. We were able to run a Life Orb set. So Leaf Storm, Dragon Pulse, Hidden Power Fire, Giga Drain. The Dragon Pulse, I believe, was for the Altaria, which seemed a decent switch into this, resisting our Grass Stab. And Giga Drain with Life Orb can kind of be nice. If we don't need to click Leaf Storm to kill, we can get some health back. So, bit of a weird set, but I like this Fern set. It definitely was here just to pressure things offensively. Then Blastoise came. This was very much the recommendation of Stromful. This Sceptile set, if I remember, was a mix of all 3 of us a little bit more. I know Isaac liked the Giga Drain with the Life Orb. But this one was more of a Stromful set with Scald, Ice Beam, Toxic, Rapid Spin. I was happy for Blastoise to come here. It was a physically defensive mon, and he had, like, on his draft, his special attacking mons are... So Durant, physical, Komala, physical, Gallade, physical, Flareon, physical, mainly, Gigalith, physical, Go-Goat, physical, Floette, not really offensive that much, Chloritzer, special, Altaria, special, Liepard, physical, Pikachu, special, Golurk, physical. So Pikachu, Altaria, Chloritzer, they're his 3 special attackers. Well, Ice Beam just kills Altaria, so we don't have to take many hits from that thing. Chloritzer's most powerful move is its water spam, and we resist that. And Pikachu, we don't want to be left in on anyway. So there was no reason to really put any Spadef in this thing. It was just a physical wall for all of those physical threats. Firing off Scalds, going for burns, because he has so many physical attackers. Scald is just an awesome move against him. If you can snag a burn on anything, then you're in great position. Ice Beam, as I say, for the Altaria. Toxic to try and wear 1 or 2 things down. Had to be careful of the Kamala coming in on that though. And Rapid Spin just for hazard removal. Next up, Medium Steve. This was our hazard setter. I really like Medium Steve in this matchup. I really like Medium Steve full stop. I think, again, this mon has come to a lot of the battles later on in the season. I really, really rate Matang now. Would definitely recommend it to people doing low tier leagues. It's a reliable rocker. It lives pretty much any one hit, depending on how you EV it. This time, again, full physical defense. There was no reason not to against his draft. This was just here to get up rocks, mainly. We could fire off a Meteor Mash, we could get some Zen Headbutts, and if we could catch the Durant with the cheeky Hidden Power Fire, then that would be pretty nice too. Base 55 special attack means it wasn't doing a lot, but it is 4 times effective, so it does a little bit. Durant has no Spadef. I think its Spadef is about 55 as well, so it would do enough. It would do enough for sure. Probably a 2-hit KO, I would imagine. Then our penultimate Pokemon here, the Cryogonal, Foster Cryogonal. This is a really good set. This is just Scarf and special attacking, and I believe it's Scarf to outspeed one of his Scarfers. Honestly, off the top of my head, I can't remember what. It might be to outspeed a Adamant Scarf Durant, or it might be to outspeed, let me look at his draft again, 105, but we're running Modest. Maybe a Scarf Gallade, maybe a Scarf Altaria. Oh, big moth has just flown in here. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what we were trying to do. Scarf Golurk, that's it. This is to counter a Scarf Golurk, I know for sure now. And giving that big Ice Beam, potentially a Rock Polish Golurk even. Not 100% sure, but this might outspeed Rock Polish Golurk. Then with that Ice Beam, Freeze Dry, and Knockoff just to get rid of an Inviolate on something like the Floette, which might want to switch him. And then last up, this set was the set that was very much, I insisted on this set. Stromful wanted a Wish support set for Medium Steve and J Creams. However, I've started to get some real joy using this set, and I thought it had an amazing, amazing matchup against Toasty. So this was one where I kind of put my foot down. And why did I run Ode Tempo instead of Oblivious? That is a goof, but never mind. I just thought I had a great matchup, considering he has so few special attackers. I could just run Max Spadef, and then once I got a curse up, nothing on his draft could two-shot me. Nothing at all. There are so few, like, he doesn't have any sort of nasty plot special attackers either. I mean, Pikachu might get nasty plot, Raichu does, but it's not that kind of mon. So this just felt like such a safe bring against him. It's the standard Curse, Sleep Talk, Rest, Return set that I've been using a little bit this season. We tried it in the first week with like a Sword Stance Wish set, and it didn't work out. This is the better kind of iteration of that. This set works to a much higher level, in my opinion. And in this matchup, I thought it had a fantastic matchup. So my plan was to kind of plow through things with Mariabella and Fern, switch in as a kind of defensive pivots with Blastoise and maybe Medium Steve. Make sure that we don't get swept by Rock Polish Golurk with Cryogonal, and eventually just set up and win with Licky. I know that Stromful was not convinced by this set. He has Licky and Peever, but he hadn't used it at any point by this battle, so I think he had his doubts. He very much saw it as just a Wish support mon, but I believed it could do more. So without wasting any more time, let's jump into the battle. So here we are in the battle, guys, and we can see that the only special attacker he brought is Floette, which is not really that offensively huge. Yes, against Moonblast, I think his base special attack is like 70 to 80, which in this format is okay, but it's not great. So I really felt very confident of Licky's matchup, and I really felt confident of my physical walls here. What did trouble me was a potential setup. Gallade, Durant is always a huge problem. We didn't see the Golurk, so Cryogonal became more expendable, which was nice. And Lipard was a potential problem with spreading status around. I didn't want to get a Prankster Thunderwave on my Swellow, for example, because that would really shut down that set. So looking at the lead matchup, I thought the likelihood was he led Gigalith. This is not a Sandstream Gigalith, this is a Sturdy Gigalith. I thought that was his likely lead, and I wanted to get damage on Gigalith as soon as possible because Swellow doesn't really like Gigalith switching in, which sucks. Although I can always just go out into Blastoise, which isn't so bad, or Medium Steve. But looking at it, I just decided, you know what, I think Gigalith is a likely lead. Otherwise, Lipard is the other likely lead in my opinion, because of Prankster shenanigans, and I need to lead with something that can handle Gigalith and doesn't mind getting paralyzed. To me, the logical answer to that was absolutely Medium Steve. So we lead off with our Matang, and you can see here he does actually lead with his Lipard. So that was fine. He goes for the knockoff, which we actually found some good information here as I go for my rocks. Now, the reason I went for my rocks is because I didn't think he should be doing much more than about sort of 50 to 60% with his knockoff, and it didn't look like it would be a 2-hit KO with knockoff necessarily, with, say, like a Jolly Life Orb set. I'm not sure if it was a 2-hit KO, can't quite remember. But I was thinking, well, I think we can take at least one knockoff. We'll get our rocks up. Matang doesn't look essential here. Yes, it'd be nice to wear down the Gigalith. Yes, it'd be nice to switch in on the Kamala and the Gallade. But ultimately, I was happy just to get rocks up, which I thought was more important because I think rocks plus Swellow is broken in this format. So I was really happy with that, and it forced him into passive plays potentially later on. Floette was his only defogger, and it wasn't a great defogger. I think Floette gets defog. Floette might not even get defog, which might be the other reason that I was happy with it. I think it doesn't. Actually, I think it's only Florges. So rocks were there to stay, I think, which was super nice. But actually what that told us is that he was Banded Lipard. So we just let Medium Steve go down there because Banded Lipard is nothing to trifle with. We don't want to switch in. Made me think it was less likely to be a Prankster Thunderwave set, which put me at ease. I would rather face Banded Lipard. But it also told me that for sure it wasn't Scarf Lipard. And it couldn't Thunderwave me because it was locked into knockoff, which meant that Swellow guaranteed Oko to sing. It didn't have a Sash, it didn't have a Scarf, and it couldn't Thunderwave me. Swellow was a safe switch in. Let me get some chip on that Gigalith early so I can start wearing it down. And he actually goes out into Floette here, and we do 58%, which is huge, huge damage. We obviously just stay in and click Boom Burst again. This thing either has to drop, and he suddenly has no switches whatsoever. Not that he really did to begin with. Or he has to go out into Gigalith and give me that chip that I wanted in the first place, which he does. And gives me 24%. It's not great, but it's something. And we can just go out into Blastoise, absorb any hit from this thing. So it's just 35%, but with leftovers recovery, there's not going to be a 3-hit KO, so we're okay. And we can now pivot out into Sceptile, predicting him to want to go out. Now, I didn't expect him to go into the Kamala here, to be fair. Or did I? I did. I apologize. I did expect him to go out into Kamala here. The reason I expected him to go out into Kamala is because it was fairly obvious I would go for a Scold here. And looking at his draft, Floette probably got 2-hit KO'd at 30% plus rocks damage with a Scold, if not one shot from it. And Gigalith doesn't want to Scold. Lipard is a banded set, doesn't want to get burnt. Durant doesn't want to get a burn. And Gallade doesn't want to get a burn. Kamala with its Comatose ability is immune to burns, so that's actually why we pull that double. I'm downplaying my own plays here. That's why we pull that double, because we think, well, look, he's not going to stay in. He doesn't want to get burnt on anything, so he has to go into Kamala. If he goes into Kamala, I want to know if that thing's AV. I want to know straight away if it's AV. So let me go into Fern. Let me fire off a Leaf Storm. He has 0 switch-ins to this again. Life Orb, Leaf Storm. Durant is his only switch-in, but we have HP Fire. That's going to hurt Durant a lot. I don't really rate his switch-ins to this thing, so let me just fire off a Life Orb Leaf Storm and see how much it does. We do 57%, which I believe reveals he is AV, which again was another thing that I really expected to come in prep. Stromful was saying that. I think it was him who was saying he didn't think it'd be AV, but I really thought it would be. He turns and gets the crit, dropping our Sceptile. I don't remember if the crit matters or not, but he just goes out into the Durant, and once again we're in a position where we're burning something. You either sack the Floette, you go back into Kamala, or we're burning something. And Kamala at this point, with only, what, was it 40% health left? I'm not quite sure. Kamala had 31, so Kamala wasn't a reliable switch-in. So we're just saying, give me damage, give me a sack, or give me a burn. And he goes out into Gallade, which was not a switch-in my opinion. We do snag that burn first try, which is a little bit fortunate. But it completely neuters this Gallade, and I see my opening to just set up Licky Licky. I probably didn't need to go for it this early, but with this thing on a burn, even if he went for an SD, I could probably curse as he got back to neutral, and then he just couldn't break me. So I just go for a curse here, knowing that he can't do too much. He goes out into Lipard, obviously his banded mon. It makes a lot of sense. He doesn't know my Licky Licky set yet. He might think I want to wish support something, but we just fire off that curse. And at this point, nothing on his draft is going to be able to 2-hit KO me, I don't think, because I can get another curse off. He didn't go for the Sword Stance with Gallade, so that's burnt. I'm in a really good position. Durant isn't Z, so it can't hit me with a Z superpower, and a normal superpower is going to drop its attack, so it can't 2-hit KO me. We just rest up on this Lipard that's locked into knockoff, and it can't really touch me at this point. And here he makes some arguably questionable plays, but I understand his thought process entirely. He gets me when I'm on Sleep Talk, and I just get rest, and he goes for a Wish here. And he passes that Wish into, as we get another curse actually, he passes that wish into his Komala, we'll see here. I understand that play. Komala was really low. AV Komala was valuable against my team, so I can understand him wanting to do that. But we just get another free curse here because I know that he's going to wish pass into something that's going to not be able to break me if I'm at ×3 defense. And then he goes out into Lipard, and I can start clicking return, and something's going to die pretty much every turn at this point, barring the Gigalith. His best chance of beating me is a crit, so as long as I keep myself out of crit range, I'm fine. He goes into Floette, which confused me, but then he reveals to have the Aromatherapy, getting rid of the burn and the Glade. Makes a lot of sense, because if he's playing for crits, then, you know, crit close combat is going to take me out, I think, regardless of what percentage I'm at. And he does go out into Glade. He does click close combat looking for that crit. It was his one chance to get it. He didn't get it. Thank God this time we actually managed to avoid some of those unlucky things that we've been hit with in the past. And Licky Licky can just bop that. Next up, we have to plow through the Gigalith, and this was a genuine problem because he's already revealed the Stone Edge. So I had to make sure at all times I tried to stay out of crit Stone Edge range. I didn't want to tempt fate. Stone Edge obviously having that high crit chance. I need to play around carefully here. So the first turn we're safe going for, you see it does 14%. We're safe going for the return first turn. We do 36% there, but we want to make sure that the Durant can't get a crit superpower on us either, so we actually just go for the rest here. It seems a little bit odd, I know, because I should be safe, but there's just no need to take the risk. I don't want to catch a crit superpower from the Durant. He actually misses his first Stone Edge. We click Sleep Talk, and I think we get return and drop him, don't we? Yeah, we get return, and goodbye Gigalith. Even a crit from Durant at this range doesn't one-shot me, so we should be fine. We should be pretty safe here. And he actually reveals to only have the Iron Head, so the only thing he could do is flinch me. But because I'm asleep, I believe he can't flinch anyway. So in a way, if we'd got a Sleep Talk return there, that would have been pro plays going to sleep so that we couldn't get crit by the Iron Head. But he gets a flinch just as we wake up, but we know we're fine. We know we're fine, and we can just fire off return as his hustle boost means he actually misses that last Iron Head. And we crit and really don't do that much, actually. I thought we would do more than that. I forgot how much that did, but we're fine. We don't want to get another flinch there, but we actually are just fine. The Komala can't break us in any way. I don't know if a crit would break us at this point, but we still have Swallow to go out into. That's the other thing, of course, is that we had enough options left at the end of the game here that even if we did get crit, we would have won. We just needed to make sure we preserved differential at the very least. But Isaac, funnily enough, Isaac, our Licky Licky, as Isaac is sat opposite me in the pub, puts in the sweep, proves to Strumpful that this Pokemon can do more than just be a Wish Passer and a Cleric, so I thought that was pretty cool. I was really, this sounds like, I don't mean this in a mean way, I really appreciated their help and support and everything else, but it was really satisfying that the set that I insisted on, despite their speculation, was the set that swept at the end of the game. So I loved that. And I believe that was a 6 sweep to Licky Licky. I believe Licky Licky got all 6 kills in this game. So actually going from wherever on our MVP to our MVP, going straight to the top of our personal Lake District Spirits leaderboard with the win there. So that was super, super hyped. I'm pleased that Licky Licky was a mon I knew I wanted in this format. I wanted it from the minute the format was announced, and I'm so hyped that it's finally really starting to come through for me that I think this is the second game after Dreadful Dragonite that it's got a sweep. So, and the second week in a row, this, I believe, you guys will know better than I do, but I believe this is the week directly after Dreadful Dragonite, so that's pretty cool too. Anyway, that's enough from you guys. I hope you enjoyed this battle. I hope you're enjoying the LTC season. This was, if I remember correctly, in fact, let me load up the doc right here. Oh, that's not what we want. I'm going to have to edit that now. Damn! Otherwise you'll see the current standings, which will be spoilers. Sorry about that, guys. I had to make a quick cut there because I accidentally revealed some spoilers for upcoming weeks, so I'm sorry about that awkward cut, I'm sure. But what I was trying to say is, and I actually got it wrong, it wasn't last night that this set, last week that this set swept D-Night. It was the week before Dragonite. But basically we played Gareth, who we lost to. Then we played Dreadful Dragonite, who was in a playoff position until we beat him. I believe we put him out of playoff positions. Then we played Nico, who was making a late surge for playoffs, who we beat, which you guys will have seen last week. Then we played Toasty this week, who was a direct rival for my playoff spot, who we beat. So that's 3 playoff rivals in a row. Next week we play Rob Rocky Rolo, who is another direct rival for playoffs. If we beat him, I believe we 100% secure playoffs. Then the week after that, we play Devious Ditto, who is also a direct rival for playoff spots. If we beat him, I believe that we guarantee playoffs as well. No, actually, it depends on other results. We need other results to go away, thinking about it. I need Elliot to beat Toasty. Toasty still needs to lose some. I need Nico to not get some results, I think. Not entirely sure on that. However, in essence, we played Dragonite, then Nico, then Toasty, then Rob, then Ditto. That's 5 coaches in a row. That's nearly half the season. It's an 11-week season. 5 weeks in a row, we played direct playoff contenders, direct playoff rivals, needing to essentially win all 5. As of right now, we've played 3 of those, and we've won 3 on the bounce. We finally hit some form in the LTC, winning 3 games in a row against direct playoff rivals. What a tough fixture list, but I hope you guys are hyped, and in the next 2 weeks, you're going to get to see me go up against Rob, aka Rocky Rolo, and then you're going to get to see me go up against Devious Ditto. Also vying for playoff spots, as I said, so that's going to be crazy. It's going to be so exciting. I hope you guys are hyped to see if we can make our first ever playoffs in a league, and in this league as well, which has been so much fun, and in which, in my opinion, we've had some super unlucky battles. I really think that with more luck against Gareth, with more luck against Quillfish, we could have had 2 more wins, which... What week are we on at this point? I don't even know. I think we've only lost... At this point in the season, I think we've only lost those 2... plus losing to Ben. I think there are only 3 defeats. Now, I must be missing something. Either way, we could have had 2 more wins under our belt already. We could already have secured playoffs with a little bit more luck, in my opinion. We got a little bit lucky today getting that first gold burn on Gallade, but I don't think it changed the game. I think we would have been okay still. So, yeah, we definitely... I think we deserve playoffs this season. I really hope in the next 2 weeks we can make that push and we can get there, because I really believe we deserve that this season. So maybe you guys disagree, and if you do, then please comment down below and say you do not deserve playoffs. You have played crap, which, you know, maybe you think that, maybe you think that. So I don't know. We'll keep pushing on. We'll keep pushing on. Hope we can make it. Hopefully you guys are hyped to potentially see the Lake District Spirits in their first ever playoffs. I know I am. I know I want it to happen. I know I want to bring you guys playoffs. I think it would be so exciting. So anyway, that's enough from me. I'm going to stop rambling on. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for loafing around with me, and I'll catch you again next time.